There's a lot of talk right now about business outcomes, pricing on them, delivering on them, but I think that is kind of jumping the gun. There is a bigger problem, which is defining and aligning them, and I think most shops haven't even started there yet. In a sales conversation, you're talking about the client's problems and how you're going to solve them. It's all about business value. What are their goals for the project? How are they justifying the ROI? What does success look like? Those are business outcomes. Then an SOW gets written, and it doesn't really talk about the outcomes, right? Because it describes what's going to be built. The person writing the SOW has done the translating in their head. It says this pain point maps to this feature, and this pain point maps to this other feature, and so the SOW describes the features. The business outcomes, the things that would actually help delivery do their job, don't make it into the SOW, and they just disappear, and delivery never hears about them. Nobody feels the pain of this until much later when it's much more expensive to fix. Glossa solves this by automatically capturing your sales conversations and extracting both requirements and business outcomes from those conversations. So your outcomes stay alive throughout the entire project instead of disappearing after the sales call. And more importantly, every requirement traces back to exactly where it came from. Let me show you how it works. First, Glossa connects directly to your meeting and work tools. Your salesperson just authenticates their account, creates a project, and that's it. From then on, meeting recordings flow in automatically, so no extra work, no one has to remember to upload anything. In a project, here are all the sources feeding it. You can see there's call recordings. Most of this arrives on its own through integrations typically. And then here is what's new. Alongside requirements, Glossa now extracts business outcomes straight from your sales discovery conversations, generated automatically, just like requirements. Each outcome has an initial value, a goal value, a status, and surrounding context, so you can see exactly what conversations it came from. And you can see the full history of every outcome. So if the goals of the project shift mid-flight, you have a record of how and when. And this matters for two reasons. First, it gets everybody on the same page. If sales heard from the exec that the goal was to grow top line revenue, but when delivery is talking to the project team, they're focused on operational efficiency, that is a real misalignment. Now you can see it and you can have that conversation early instead of discovering it after you've already built something. And second, once outcomes are aligned, it gives delivery something to stand on. You know how it goes. Clients ask for everything. And today, delivery isn't always empowered to push back, especially in a T&M world. But with outcomes defined and aligned, they can finally ask the question, does this new requirement actually serve an outcome that we committed to? Or is it scope creep, maybe that we're going to have to absorb for free? So that brings me to the part that I am even more excited about. Not only do we capture business outcomes from conversations and site sources, we also map the business outcomes to your project requirements. So those same conversations that we use to create business outcomes are also used to create requirements. And those requirements are automatically mapped to the chunks of repeatable work that make up your library. So we automatically map those chunks of repeatable work for this specific project to business outcomes. So you always know this requirement exists because it's part of this category of work, which is serving this business outcome. So you have traceability all the way through. And most importantly, this is all done automatically. All you need to do is review. This is pretty new. I think most delivery teams aren't even capturing business outcomes, let alone keeping them front and center throughout detailed discovery. So I am super, super thrilled to ship this. It's been a long time coming. So try it out and tell me what you think.